Hey Tola, what's happening, good people? It's your boy Pencil Strikes, aka the Big Fish, aka Gamjepula, host A Ghost, and I want to say welcome to another legit dope episode of TMM. You know how we do. We bring you the best in the country, and you know what? We do it all for you guys. And I don't want to waste too much time and tell you what's the nitty-gritties of this and that. I'm just gonna say TMM_ZA, that's Instagram, Facebook The Music Mag, YouTube The Music Mag, and just like that we fam. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and you know what it is. We are fam just like that. And a big thank you to the Benjamin Hotel for bringing us through and letting us hang out. What a lovely place, guys. If you're around Florida, Durban, come through, check it out, book, bring fam. Everything is legit. But other than that, Ngoma Wines, Jossel, thank you for always showing us love and sponsoring this episode. Buffet, so today I've got a jam-packed episode. Buffet, so I am bringing you probably the one episode that everybody's been waiting for. You know what I mean? Everybody's been waiting for. I bring you a radio personality, a game changer, a comedian, man, a father, a family figure, man, a person that everybody knows about. Buffet, so I bring you the one and only Mr. No Work. The one and only Felix Hlophe, ladies and gentlemen, Baba.
Yeah, it's nice. All good in the hood.
Oh, it's all good.
But I hear it's better in the burbs.
Definitely better in the burbs.
I'm good, man. I'm good, brother.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me today.
Oh, man, it's amazing to have you here, man. Long time coming. I had the opportunity to obviously interview you at the Easter Polo Classic for a little bit of a clip. Yeah, that was amazing. But I think our people deserve the full shandies, you know. They need to get to know you, man. And you know, you've been doing amazing things.
Thank you.
You make people smile, you make people laugh, you know, and I think that's definitely something that these people that watch these shows deserve, you know?
Awesome.
You know, yeah.
Awesome.
So I wanna get straight into it, man.
Yeah.
Baba Felix, you know, I think a lot of people know Felix before the whole fame thing, you know. They knew you, they knew who you were, but I want to know the Felix from Ebuyani Secondary, you know, E-section, you know. I wanna know where was Felix? What was the life like? E-section at that time, you know, and you know the hood. It's got its good and its bad.
Hey,
you know?
man, it will swallow you up. But basically, I grew up in a very humble family, a family of 5 siblings, 2 parents, so I don't have a sob story to tell. I did have both my parents. We went to township school. We walked to school.
Yeah.
Skumbuzi, then Ebuyani, and I think when the rioting started in '89, that's when then they whisked me away to Catholic school. I went to St. Francis College in Marion Hill. And basically growing up in the township, you know how we set up at that time.
Yeah.
There was no big retail shops. We bought our food from the corner store.
Corner store type shandies, yeah.
We were all the same. We went open to many careers. So you had the affluent way, I think the nurses and the teachers.
And your policemen.
Yeah. So we all had a similar lifestyle. We had a great sense of community. So if can I borrow some brunch?
Please, need it.
Yeah. So we grew up with that great sense of family, a sense of community. The parents, my friends' parents are also my parents.
Yeah.
They have a right to discipline me, you know, the whole spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yes, sir.
Thing.
Yes, sir.
We were raised by the people that taught us good manners, you know, open doors, pull out chairs, say sorry, first to forgive type thing. So we were solid. We were poor, but we were rich in spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've always been a funny guy. In fact, I come from a funny family. Like I said, it's 5 siblings, so dinner time was chaos.
Yeah, I can
so
imagine
if you wanted to be heard, you need to tell a story that is most interesting.
Yes.
So, so that everyone then can give you a proper chance to tell your story. So you needed to be really creative in coming up with stuff to say. Because we didn't have TV, we only had TV later on in life. But yeah, it was an awesome upbringing. I had a great time. even when my parents passed, my siblings, my big brother and my big sister took over the reins from them, and they reared us, and they did a fine job.
Yes, sir.
I always say, if I'm half the man that my brother is, I would have made it in life. Yeah. So I had a very good upbringing. Very, very humble. Smack in the middle. It was the end of apartheid.
Yeah.
During the rioting, during the struggle, during when the people used to cross over to Mozambique, Swaziland, or Zambia, joining Umkhonto Caesar. Most of my siblings actually, my peers then disappeared into exile. Some came back and some didn't, which is why then I think my parents were afraid that I was also going to
be in the same scenario.
They took me away. But yeah, we had a fun childhood. We played outside.
Yes.
And yeah.
And I know this, let me get my iPhone. I need to get some Candy Crush going.
No internet. No cellular communication.
Mm.
In fact, it was only later on in life. Our first, the computer, it was at the LAN at varsity, our first, and we didn't even have Windows then. We used MS-DOS.
Yes, yes. I never experienced that program, but I've come across.
I know the life before the mouse.
And it's so interesting because like you say, you come from a place where you've always been a person that wants to laugh, be funny, make people smile and be happy. You know. But your hood that you were brought up in is definitely a hood that I think everyone across the country knows. Back then, East Section wasn't a place for to play. And I just want to know, like, you going through your growing years, East Section as what
Notorious.
it is. Yeah.
Notorious. It was the darkest hearts of the township. And funny you should ask that. No one actually has ever asked me that in any interview that I've done.
I'm glad to hear that.
I know that people know where I come from, so they know that I'm supposed to be set up in a certain way because I come from there. And I know sometimes through association they assume also. And yes, everyone has a past they're not proud of. Sometimes you get entangled in things you're not proud of. But I was very fortunate for God or life to offer me an escape. But most of the people I grew up with did not have that. They're either serving time or have served time or passed away. Township is what you make out of it. I will in no way justify the means to an end, but it was poverty. It's all people actually refuse to acknowledge that crime is a resultant. In sociology, they teach you that crime is a resultant. It's a resultant of poverty, which is a resultant of unemployment, which is a resultant of inequality. So people need to put food on the table. Stick, beg, or borrow. Can't justify it, but I'm just saying that is the reason why most of people from good families, from good homes, resorted to crime, resorted to joining gangs and gangsterism and that type of thing. Like I said, at some point in time, you would maybe want to prove or get your badge or your street cred, but if you have a good head over your shoulders, you soon realize that this is not the last, because the end is always the same. Different scripts, but it's always the same
ending.
In my hood, in my street, I don't have a peer. They all passed away.
They all passed on. And I'm sorry to hear that. But like I look at how you present yourself, to the people that you put smiles on their faces every day, It's always with that confidence. I never see cracks in your character, but you obviously got a family and you're raising your kids, How are the little ones, Did the apple fall far from the tree or not far from the tree, Like, just tell me a little bit more about your, because you know what I was thinking when I was doing my research? I was like, I would love to be in Felix's house just for one day, man, just for one day, I'd love to see the rest of the family together, you know?
It's crazy. You know, I try sometimes to not be a cool dad to my kids. So
I think you'd be a cool dad. Don't you think, Chad? You'd be definitely a cool dad.
I like to be strict, you know,
Yeah.
so I don't spoil them too much. But I have a lot of kids, you know. I had a very colorful youth, made a lot of mistakes, which is why I'm a big believer in second chances.
Yes.
And so yeah, I'm blessed with 6 kids, 2 from my marriage, but my oldest is Awande, Tingo, Swazi.
Yes.
Imani is the apple that fell too close
To the tree.
My
Okay.
dad, so yeah, she's born in 2012.
Yeah.
She's funny. She's very bubbly and has a very colorful personality. And then after that was Amile, who's a brainiac. She's smart. She's only 4, but super smart. And then Lisa, my youngest one. But at home, I try as best I can to be available. I came across an excerpt of sorts, taken from a book. It's one day we'll all be called to the Lord, and for you to be in your kids' memories one day, you need to be present in their lives today.
Yes, sir.
So I'm one of the busiest personalities in this province. But every time that I get, I choose to spend with the family. So I'm there making memories, making sure I instill good values in my kids, making sure that I'm there for them. They see me being present. And that gets passed on to the next generation, and so on it goes.
Yes.
But at home, I'm blessed. I'm married to my best friend, Tracy.
Yeah.
I love you, babe. You know, when you go through life, just navigating through life, you get burnt a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially in love. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know,
The lessons.
The
lessons are hard.
A whole book. So, and then you just meet up with someone who's also been burnt, who's tired of getting it wrong. And you're like, hey, how's about we get it wrong together? And she agreed, and within 2 years we were married, and we were blessed with this wonderful family. And I try and give them a certain level of comfort.
Yes.
And I'm happy seeing them happy. And yeah, time just goes tick-tock, tick-tick,
And it
talk.
flies.
And before you know it, it's just Kulilis Badala and we have grandkids. But basically it's a step at a time. Yeah.
Because as well, like you never miss when it comes to just making sure that it's understood. It's okay. Yes, I am Felix Hlophe.
Yeah.
Yes, I do laugh. I do smile. I do all these things. I talk to you guys. Every day. But the one thing that I always pick up is, this is just my opinion. I think you're a very big traditionalist. And why do I say this? The terminology you use when you're speaking, you know, I'm like, no man, this man, he knows his Zulu, you know. Is that something that comes from just the home, or is it something that you carry with you all the time?
I carry it with pride. I'm Swazi, by the way, believe it or not. But I was brought up Zulu. I'm a very proud Zulu man. And I always want to teach other people also to be proud of their ancestry. And show people that you can also be poetic in Zulu. Zulu is a language that is rich in idioms and proverbs, and a lot of people non-Zulu speakers don't understand that we speak a different Zulu. There's different dialects to Zulu. Like for instance, you go down south to Port Shepstone in the south, they have a lot of emphasis in their Zs. You know what I mean? Like you and I would say ingane ning, yeah, but down south they would say something like izingane ziningi. They put emphasis in it. And then you go up, say in the Midlands, maybe Escort Lady Smith, somewhere there, they swallow their NGs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then obviously, but it's so different in the way and the things that we say, you know what I mean? That the richness in our heritage, it needs for us, we are the custodians of our culture now. And we need to make it cool. We need to make it hip and chic, you know? So that is exactly what I'm trying to do now, to say, you know what, you can speak in English to accommodate non-Zulu speakers,
Yes.
but also you can show that we can be poetic in isiZulu.
In our own
you know?
language, in our own form.
Because it fades away. It fades away. Certain phrases and sayings fall away because we've all now been urbanized, you
Yes,
know. So basically, yeah, I carry that with me. I'm duty bound,
Yes.
you know, to teach the youngsters now to say, hey, we are Zulu, and part of our pride is our language,
Yes.
and this is how you can use our language. I have an alter ego called Hlophe.
Hlophe,
Yeah,
yes.
who's a staunch Northern KZN man. He speaks in a very strong Northern KZN
I
accent.
think everybody knows Hlophe, guys. And if you don't know, I don't know what you're doing on the internet. It's either you're out of data or no connection, you know? Yeah.
He's just basically a vehicle I use to push the big Zulu and Zuluness and all stereotypes
Yes.
included. And people love it, especially people now in other provinces like Gauteng.
Yes.
They resonate a lot with Hlophe, you know, in the way that he thinks. It's so silly.
Yeah.
But in the way that he speaks.
Thinks and
Yeah. So.
But like, how do you balance it, you know? Because I won't lie, like, you know what, when I was thinking, I was like, okay, radio personality, comedian, you know, and in my head I'm like, this man's definitely going into acting someday, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you make sure that this alter ego, Hlophe, and the actual Felix, who's a father to people like me who are new in the broadcasting game, you know, who listen to your show, who take things from what you do, like, is there a way that you position yourself to kind of like separate these two, you know?
There's three actually.
Three.
You know, funny enough, how I started out as a corporate MC before I became a stand-up comedian. I used to work for a company just up the road, actually, Quest. Flexible staffing. So I was the regional incentive program coordinator, which is a function of HR that just deals with KPIs and performance and incentives, that type of thing. So every quarter, I would then have an event, a gala event where from all our companies, where telecoms, finance, emerging markets, I would take all the top performers from different call centers, different banks and so forth. And then I would then put them on a pedestal and shine the spotlights on them, give them trophies, give them cash prizes, that type of thing. And I would hire different personalities to come and MC these functions. Until the one time I hired out a then sports personality whose name I won't mention because they missed their flights.
Yes, sir.
So they missed their flights. And I had already hired a tax, and my then boss, Catherine Hapst, who used to sit in Cape Town, was here for the event. So she's busy now inflating balloons with that hydrogen machine? Yeah.
What's it called, Chad?
The thing, it inflates.
PM. Yes.
And I had to tell her that our main staff for the evening missed their flight. And she just looked at me and said, Felix, that is your problem. This is your event. It was your idea. And secondly, you can fit into his tax.
Yeah.
So
you can fit
that thing that she said that day changed my whole entire journey. And you would not have known anything about Felix Hlophe had it not been that particular moment. So I went there, put on the tax, I went straight to the bar, ordered 3 shots, summoned up all my courage, and I went on stage and I never looked back. So now all these companies that are here, say in telecoms alone, we had so many call centers. We had Cell C, we had all of them. So all of them now started asking me to come and MC their functions.
Oh, snap.
So you'd see me at MTN, you'd see me at Cell C, you'd see me there, year-end functions, family day, sports day, I'm the MCing. So when this whole movement of stand-up comedy in Venek started here, then these guys kept saying, but there's a guy who's funny, usually comes to our work.
MCs.
Yes, he's Felix, he's funny. The first day I had just finished doing RAF, the road accident fund. I was in a suit. I went there, I was like, so many cars. It was the first time seeing my face on the poster. And I kept there, my bro, hey, I'd never seen that many people in my whole life.
For the first time.
For first time. In fact, I'd prepped a set. When I got on stage, I couldn't actually conjure up anything to say. Do you know what I said? I said, ha, Angela. I'm sure you know that phrase. It's become a signature phrase.
Yes.
Everywhere
yes.
I go, even the young kids, when they see,
Yeah. So that was the gig.
it was through
Oh,
happenstance. In fact, it was just a mistake.
Oh,
I just thought it out loud.
And that went so viral.
Yeah.
I thought it was planned.
It was never planned. It was my first time setting foot on stage, on a stand-up comedy stage. And the one thing that I saw was that many people. I was so shocked because now I'm the penultimate act.
Yes.
So behind me still comes the headline.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I've seen these guys before me do. I'm like, no. Come on.
Come on.
So that was my first one. And from then, I shot straight to number one. Stayed number one for close to 8 years. Now, getting to number one is easy. Staying number one is hard.
Yeah.
Because now I'm headlining everywhere. No ex wants to come up after me.
Yes.
So now everyone that comes to the show wants me to not just tell jokes, but to tell the Felix type jokes. You know, what's in
Yes.
all those jokes that become viral. And so I need to come up with something like that each time. And each time I'm performing after 5 other acts.
Yes.
Who now understand that they're sharing a bill with Felix and they're on stage with Felix.
Yeah.
So they up their socks. And every time I'm always the last to perform. I did not know that it was preparing me for the life I live today.
Yeah.
Because now I do it with so much ease. You know, I even changed the old Felix who was just telling jokes and punching widely on stage. Now I theme my shows.
Yes.
I get to talk on a certain topic for 2 hours, which is laugh a minute type presentation. That was sharpening me for today. But I grew weary and tired of it, and I decided, hey, you know what? This is it. I've done enough. I did that show in 2009, The Last Dance with Felix.
Yes.
I thought it was my last show.
I was actually there.
Were you there?
Dead serious.
Shout out to you, man.
I still remember you made one joke about. Actually, you know what? Let me rather not.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
PG.
But I was honestly there, man. Yeah. I was there, and I still remember we walked in with my friend, and he's like, "We can't be late.
Yeah.
Like we cannot be late, you know." And we got there, and I couldn't believe the turnout, you know. I couldn't believe the turnout, and with Wenababa Felix, like I think as well, like with the way that you are so open to your people, you know, like. On that day, that was like, okay, stamp of authority. This guy is gonna be something big, you know.
Yeah.
And fast forward now, I get to sit with you and speak with you, you know. And these things don't go unnoticed, yeah, because as well, from what I hear in your conversations, you don't leave the youth out.
No, definitely,
You know,
definitely.
never leave the youth out.
I'm very passionate about youth development because for the first time, like I said, I grew up with that safety cushion. You know, in a home with a mother and a father and siblings, you know. So siblings are always your fail-safe,
Yes.
you know. And now the youth of today, they're left to their own devices. No one is there to walk them, you know, help them take baby steps, you know. The unemployment, you know, the pressure, if you don't have any money, then you're not worth anything. You're not worth, your word is not worth anything or consideration if you don't have money. Your parents are faced with so much pressure, even in their careers, even at home. There's issues of GBV, there's issues of abuse, this, that. And now you basically left to your own devices. You have the internet and you're trying to figure this thing out on your own. The pressure of school and making it, and bro, your body is changing now, and you're going to change
so
it.
much going on.
A girl won't even give you the time of day because you don't have a car, because now you're competing with sugar daddies. There's just way too much pressure on the youth of today.
Competing with sugar daddies, that's so true, actually.
So now I'm like, hey, listen up, young one. You on the right course. Stay there. In fact, I will help you figure this thing out. Why? Because I understand you. So I take time and visit schools, and I'm there at morning assembly to say, I know what you're going through.
Yes.
And the fact that you're here and you can listen to me means you're on the right path. There's a reason and a time for everything. The reason why it says no for sale to persons under the age of 18, because it's not time yet.
Yes.
You, for the 12 years, need to be in this space. In this space, we'll equip you for the next phase.
The next
And the
phase,
next phase, the next phase. And so I try and rush equipment with people they can get in touch with who are discreet,
Yes.
or you can just simply have a conversation with over WhatsApp,
Yes.
platform to say, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Because now this is the youth of today,
Yeah.
youth and men, that has the highest rate of suicide.
Yes.
So in terms of youth development, I'm very passionate about that. It's a world that we don't understand. It keeps unfolding, it keeps evolving, and we don't know. I can make sense of the world that I grew up in, but this is a changed world.
Yes.
I cannot offer you advice in this new world. Look
this
at what
new
you're
world,
doing
yeah.
now. We didn't think this would be possible
Yeah.
during our time.
Yes,
And
yes.
you are making use of this. Start where you are with what you have, you
yeah.
know. And what you do now, there's a saying in Zulu, "Awusitshala isihlahla ngoba usufuna umthunzi." You don't plant a tree when you need the shade.
Yes.
No, you plant a tree now for the shade you'll enjoy 20 years
Yes,
from now.
yes.
So the best time to plant a tree is today or 20 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically is what I try and tell the youth. Anything and everything you do now has a direct bearing on your future self. You owe it to your future self. And you need to understand that there's a blueprint. Stay in school. Stay in
Yes.
school. That they say the best way to predict the future is by creating it. And by creating it is by staying in school now.
Yes.
Despite all the pressure, stay in school. You know what I mean? So basically, I'm very passionate about the youth. I'm glad you picked that up. I'm the happy-go-lucky fun guy whose sole purpose in life is to lift the burden
Yeah.
from other people. You know, they say that you must. We all have a purpose, and if you can't find your purpose, you need to find your passion,
Yes.
which will then lead you to your purpose. I've discovered my purpose, and fortunately, my purpose is also able to put food on my table. But basically, that is what I do. I'm a pastime guy. I'm the guy that gives you hope. I'm the guy that people actually would go to my social media pages when they log on
Yes.
at work. They first need to check what Felix has posted,
Yes.
so they can laugh and then get on with their day.
I'm definitely
I
one of those
understand.
guys.
I understand my purpose.
Definitely,
Yeah.
But you know, you said something so important here, you know, and this is why I always say to the team, is like it's so hard to prepare an interview for someone like you because of just the general direction that the conversation would go, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm now picking up something that you've just said, you know. You spoke about the youth not having people that holds their hand, you know, and helps them out. And it now takes me to something that's happened in the city that I feel is really sad, you know. I feel is really sad. Imango Suthu, you know, we saw the building, the varsity team being burnt, you know.
Yeah, that was a shameful act. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to know, like, do you think the youth and these strikes that are happening are a bit too much power for people of, you know, our age groups type of thing? Because like when I look at it, Felix, I'm still gonna have kids that need to go to these varsities and all these schools, the libraries being burnt down and so on and so forth, you know. So in my head, I'm thinking now, maybe there's too much power, you know?
Yeah.
Or is it the fact that these people have not been heard to a point where it's gone from knocking on the door, kicking the door down, eventually let's burn the building down? Like, where do you think the youth is kind of like stuck there?
You see, it's unjustifiable. Like I said, it's nauseating just looking at the images. But also, I learned that one should not be too quick to conclude about a situation you're not a part of.
Yeah.
We have done things in our past. The foundations of this freedom we enjoy today in this particular country were taken, and we owe it to the streets and the toitos and the rioting and the
Yes.
burning down of buildings so that you can be heard. But also in Zulu. now I'm conscious of this because you said I'm always quoting Zulu idioms.
But they sit, trust me.
NgesiZulu mfethu awudli nembewu. You know, udla isivuno.
Yebo.
Udle nembewu. So for non-Zulu speakers, basically you have a seed. When you eat, you don't eat the seed.
The seed, yes.
Yeah, you plow, you sow the seed.
Reap the
And
rewards type
yes,
thing, yeah.
exactly. And you still leave the seed so you can plow, so you can eat again, and so on it goes. And you owe it to the people that come after you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would say, don't be lazy to find out creative ways of being heard.
Yes.
You know, don't spoil it for the future generation because you're damaging the whole country and your life when you're older.
Yes.
If you're damaging the schools and the buildings, you know what I mean? There's so many ways of being heard. Our government today is partly to blame, in fact, solely to blame for what we see.
Definitely. Hands down.
The people at the helm of these ministries and government departments sometimes leave a lot to be desired. Sometimes just leave a bitter taste in our mouths, you know. And their focus is on party politicking, is on silos, is on backstabbing, calculating, and you know, anything that you do is done to score political points. And they forget about the real reasons why they're there. You know what I mean? It's disappointing. And I understand the frustration, but yeah, this country has a history of taking it to the streets, and we owe our freedom and to those that led their lives for us to enjoy these freedoms. And that is just how we are. It's part of our DNA. And so you can't take it away from people because you're not in the same situation as them. It's like the crime. People complain about the crime in this country. You know,
but they forget about the poverty.
Fix the inequality, you have zero crime. People need to eat. You know, if you're sitting in the comfort of your home and then you say, you have hot water, running water, toilet inside your house. You have a choice of what to eat, when to eat. You have a choice of what clothes you're gonna put on your back. And then across the street from you is a shack that you don't even want there. You know, there's a shack and people living in shacks in one room is like this. They didn't eat during the day. They were hoping their parents will come back and bring something. It turns out, no, they can't. They're just waiting for month end. And you know, and that person is motivated to steal from you.
Because they've got to
if
put
you
food on the
address
table,
the inequality in this country, we'd be like Sweden. And you know, I would sit with privileged people from other racial groups, and they would say to me, hey, you're not so different. You're so different. You're not like them. And I'd be like, no, you've never experienced them. They're just like me. We all just like you. Are living in a country with Africans that are just like me. You're comfortable because I enjoy proximity to you. But Temba, who can't speak English, is not dumb. He's not stupid. He just cannot speak English. But guess what? He speaks 4 other languages. Fluently. If you took time and sat with him, you'd realize that maybe he's better company than me. But you dismiss us because black people, this, that, all they know is making children. You dismiss it. But if an American comes here, American white person comes here, American Indian person comes here, and they sit with us and like, love the country, cool people. They do a podcast or TikTok and it's viral. And you are sitting in this country, you can't speak an African language. You call yourself African, but there's nothing African about you because you repel everything that is African. Poor people of this country are such an inconvenience to privileged people. Such an inconvenience. You listen to Malema. Before he opens his mouth, he's dismissed. You listen to anyone who makes sense of our plight. Dismissed. Just like them. Simply because. Why? Because we're giving you grants of 350, we're giving you all these grants. You are a welfare economy, you are this, you that. And I'm like, I go to the township and I feel the richness of my people. You know, in hopeless situations, big smiles and dancing and chanting. And I'm a very emotional person, by the way, sorry.
But it's touching me too,
let's maybe move on to the next question, because honestly, this is drawing all of my emotions, how my people are living, how when you go home, your cousins, you know how and we still are a bit inconvenienced. If all efforts, you know when we had the 2010 World Cup? If all efforts were directed at dealing with inequality, this country would be the crown jewel of Africa and the whole world.
And the potential is there.
Yes. If we're able to make it like this, you see Bobo Nang, Bobo Iti, Bobanbani coming from those coming from those backgrounds, my friend. Imagine if we had equal opportunity.
And these people end up being super great,
Yeah.
you know. But you know what, like Felix said, let's move on to the next question, you
Yeah.
know. Because this is the music, man, you know. But when you sit down with someone like you, trust me, I'm now getting carried away, you know. You know, so I wanna know, because my people obviously wanna know, would see Felix Hlophe, you know, obviously there's radio, there's comedy, there's brighter things coming in the future, some TV stuff as well that you obviously will be seeing, you know. But I want to start here. Baba. I want to start in the comedy space.
Yeah.
You know, the comedy space has really evolved in South Africa very quickly. You know, we've got yourself, or Celestine Tuli, Pom Pops, Trevor, you know, and I don't like mentioning Trevor first.
Why
because
not?
it's an obvious, you know, and I look at the growth, man, and there's also these guys that are obviously not mainstream, you know, Abos Peskits, Abo Leon Kumete, you know, the comedy now compared to when you started, you know, like what does Felix see and feel about it, you know?
I am proud to have done my part in founding this genre, and also in shaping and influencing it in a lot of different ways. And also shaping the audience. The audience was not mature for this type of art. Yeah, I remember when I first started art, and people were like, so much I went on, but it's always cursing and whatnot. I was like, yeah, but you guys would have Chris Rock come to this country and use the F word and the P word and the N word freely. I come and do the same thing, and you're like, in time, but it's because you're not used to it. So I understand the pioneer effect. We are starting this thing and building it from ground up. We didn't reap the rewards immediately, but we certainly are now.
Yeah.
And we laid the foundation for the guys that came after us. Some of the guys that came after us are now industry leaders. I remember when Trevor first started out, I was emceeing 99% at the Playhouse, and he was the 1%, right? And as soon as he came on, we realized that this guy is special. I remember we did a gig at Monte Casino in Joburg. It was myself, Eugene, Kagiso, and Trevor. So we are from the Monte Casino Hotel. So going into the casino, it was Vakamata. Is where it was. So it's giving cards, and we facing Tina. A move, so the other guys bala no drive, and then we're talking, and then suddenly this guy just says, "Yes, guys, CM7 but got to see a lala." I'm like, guy, you can speak Zulu. This whole time I'm wasting what's going English, and you can speak Zulu. And then we get there, and he's like, he's rushing to another gig. You know, so he wants to please play number one. So we're like, okay, sure, bro. You play number one, and we should not have let that nigga play number one. So he played number one. I think after him was Eugene. No, Eugene was Scott Keys. Then it was me. Dude, I tried every trick in the book. It's such a tough act to follow. And then from there, I think he just stopped and started doing one-man shows and decided the world is his oyster. He's going to try and break it in other continents and other countries. And he went there, and that was where he's found his comfort. And that's how he then became the Trevor that you know. Trevor is God. Is God. We got guys who are good, but Trevor was born just for that purpose. You know, he has been fortunate enough to have his own show, because I think South Africans will get to experience more of me once I have the Felix Hlophe show. Once I can then deliberate on a much larger platform and you can get to see me, that's when people will then understand Felix. People that buy tickets to see me in theaters, people that see me in lounge, doing comedy, that's lovely, but I believe I've not scratched the surface of who I'm still
those
yet
people
to
that
become.
don't come to those events or can't afford to.
I've not scratched the surface. This is just, yes, I've done a lot. If you look at what I've done, it's a lot. But ask yourself, I only have one award, and it's an honorary award that I was called in to say, we'd like to honor you. Also say two. The other one, I was voted for. But I've been nominated so many times, but because people I'm nominated against are on national platforms.
Yes.
They get all these votes and whatnot, and they come then to me later and say, Felix, we recognize you, but
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah.
I was nominated for Mzansi Viewer Choice Award.
Yes.
I really, really coveted that award,
Yeah.
and I didn't get it. My spirit was broken.
Yeah.
KZN Entertainment Awards, I was like, I really thought I was going to win it because I'd done so much. You know when you do 4 shows, 2-hour shows in a year, laugh a minute, in the scale where I do them
Yes.
in, where you have 1,500 venue, taking 3,000 people and more, and taking it on tour, and then having the online presence
Yes.
like I do, being shared, and you're thinking, you still want me to go and campaign for votes? If you want to give me an award, give me an award,
Yeah.
because you recognize me.
Yes.
But now if you say I still need to go against another person who maybe has 1 million followers, 2 million followers for votes, I'm like, maybe it's not something I'll consider in the future.
Yeah, and it tips the scale. In
Yeah,
a
so
sense,
if you want to recognize me for the work that I've done, founding this industry, keeping it alive, and introducing other people, endorsing them, empowering them, developing them, enabling them, then give me the award.
Yeah.
Etegwini municipality has never honored me, and yet I've carried so many of their events,
Yes.
high impact events,
Yes.
where I've been emceeing throughout Ubabu Obed Imlaba, throughout all the mayors that have come through. No honorary
No
award.
honoraries,
I can't. You cannot demand an
Yes.
honorary award. But I'm saying is, hey, I'm here. But once I die, my man, mark my words.
Then you blow.
This TMM interview, mark my words, my guy.
Yeah.
This very clip will go viral when I'm dead. You'll see
Oh, snap, yeah.
so many
Yeah.
honors I will get
Yes.
after I'm dead. Mark my words. There.
I love that, and because the comedy is changing, like the comedy is really changing, Baba Felix, and I know for a fact, as a citizen of the city of Durban, a person that loves entertainment, I know for a fact that you're definitely one of the founders of this Vanek type of comedy, you know. But manje, we've got guys like Abondlebe,
Yeah.
who come on, he's 17, so on and so forth, The creativity levels, Do you think with what we have now, we can definitely shoot up to at least maybe to the next level, where these guys are actually getting a platform to, do their thing, yeah?
I did a show called Misunderstood.
Yes, I've also I saw that
Yes,
floating on the internet, yes.
Yeah, I did a show called Misunderstood. Even now, I don't go on stage without playing Nina Simone. That's my ritual before I go on stage.
yeah.
I play Nina Simone. Don't let me be misunderstood. You know the song?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I then play Embark, my main man.
I want to hear
Who
this.
also
I want to hear
has the
this.
same mental health like me.
Yeah,
Kanye
yeah.
West.
Oh, yes.
Who's also bipolar. And then I play his song also, just to get I draw strength from those 2 songs before I go on. So basically, you find that people like the fame, they like the bookings, the money, the fun side of being famous and being a comedian, but don't necessarily want to do the work that comes with it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be king until it's time to do what kings do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people don't like to write jokes and be creative, People like to be glorified and all of that.
Yeah.
I am so misunderstood. There was a time when I had a fallout with one comedian to whom I'd given a lifetime opportunity,
Yeah.
and then he later became my biggest adversary. It's okay, He then recruited and rallied up other comedians against me. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay in my lane and do what I do and understand my purpose, and understand the level where I'm at now. I cannot be beefing.
Yeah.
It's not Tupac big nonsense. We have families. We need
families,
to feed, So I'm still
yeah.
true to my craft. And that's when I decided I'm not going to collaborate. I'm just going to do my one-man
shows, yeah,
you know,
like you've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started doing that 2 hours at any given time. I was like, I'm going to set the bar so high. If you want to talk to me or beef with me, do what I can do first.
Yeah,
Then come and do
let's
it.
let's let the work do the
I'm not going to
talking.
walk down to you, then you climb up here and talk shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down there.
All the way back down there,
no, I'm leave you there.
Yeah.
And we over that hurdle. Some have come around, some haven't. I work with them. I extend opportunities. Sometimes on the 14th of June, I can't be in 3 places. So I give you a call. Hey, got a lovely replacement. Go there, type thing. And they appreciate it. Yeah, well, others feel, we don't want these crumbs. But it's okay. I understand my purpose and where I am. Talking about that, but the current crop doesn't want to do the work. They don't want to grind. You know, you see comedians becoming motivational speakers.
I see, yeah.
And then now when I'm doing a special and I'm inviting people from tour, because I will see them working hard.
Yes.
I see them honoring their craft, you know, and honing their craft, constantly developing themselves. And people say, Felix, but why are you, I'm not training no one. I'm saying work. Until you can represent my brand or have earned your strap to share the stage with me, I'll invite you.
Yes.
Other than that, you can talk as much shit as you want. I don't care. I don't even hear you, my friend. I vibrate on a different plane altogether. You know, I work. I work.
Definitely.
You know? No matter what you can say, you can't take away the fact that I work hard. You know, anyone that wants a certain prestige to be attached to that event, top of mind is Felix.
Yes.
You might find that you're funny. People like you. You're funny. Your videos go viral. And when you have a one-man show, you have a following of 900,000 people. You have a one-man show, you can't fill up a 500-seater. People are like, okay, sure, he's funny. Oh, I hope he does well. But unlike me, when I do a show, people are like, I'm not missing it for the world.
Yes.
In fact, hey, mates, I just bought 4 tickets. I bought 2
You're
for
coming.
you. You can pay me later. Why? Because I don't come out unless I really have something to say.
Yes.
And this is the level of confidence that I have now. It took me a long time just to be able to say, I'm good at this thing. Just to be able to say, I'm the best. It took me a long time. It has to do with how we were brought up. We are afraid to be our own hype man. We are afraid to clap for ourselves.
Yes.
We are afraid to go look back and see how far we've come and congratulate ourselves and be easy on ourselves.
Celebrate those milestones.
It's taken me a long time to be able to say, actually, you know what? You can have whatever event, but I can make it this much better. You know, I go to anyone's occasion, and I'm like, as if I wasn't there, this wasn't going to turn out so great. You know, I do a comedy show and say, I'm glad I'm documenting this, so that one day when I'm gone, people will have a benchmark or a yardstick of sorts to gauge themselves and the industry. So basically, what I'm doing doing the same thing that Nasty C did to hip hop in South Africa. I'm there, inside the settings, going edit. You know what I mean? So it's coming. My time is coming. Once I get, sure, I'm getting a reality show, but once I get my own TV show, my friend, that's when the whole world will experience.
Will understand.
And I will wait until my time comes. I will not hate on anyone. I will wait until my time comes, and my time is near.
And that's the thing, Baba Felix, you know, like, so FYI for your information, like I told you at the Easter Polo Classic, my mother actually taught you in school, you know, and I didn't get the end of it, you know. In fact, it almost got to a point where we almost rallied all of them to come through, you know. And I was like, I just go to church, guys. It's not as simple as it looks, you know.
Hey, awesome, man, I'm saying now for free.
You know, but like I see how everybody, you know, like she, even when I spoke to her, and I'm like, yo, mom, you know, I'm doing a really big interview that will probably be close to you, you know. And she's like, oh, okay, when's about? And I'm like, no, I'm interviewing Felix, you know. And the one thing that always sticks out, and so obviously because she taught with all these teachers, they were obviously my mothers as well, you know, growing up. So they always say the same thing. They say, as naughty as a child can be, you definitely were that child, you know. But above and beyond, they had always seen that there's gonna be something with this guy, you know. And she says to me, the tricky one was she didn't know that it was gonna be radio.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She said, everything else falls into place, but radio. So I want to know, like, was radio always something that you as Felix say, you know what, I'm going there,
It's a funny story. Like I said, the turning point in my life was a lady called Catherine Herbst.
Yes.
I believe she's Catherine Graham now. Yeah. That was the turning point. You
Yeah.
see, I also saw myself as a group CEO.
Yeah.
Or an MD of a company. In fact, most of my friends are now.
Yeah.
I got the best training under Catherine. I went on to open my own company, Felix Staffing Solutions.
Yeah.
Which started off as just like headhunting into a recruitment agency, into a labor broking agency, into having these big contracts with Transnet, and also just before there was a car terminal, I was doing that thing.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, telling you now for free.
Oh, snap.
Before.
So it was business?
It was me just taking out all the sort of
man.
vehicles from the ships. I do lashing, I do container stevedores. And I then...
I bet you didn't know that. TMM. I bet you didn't know. I put my head on the chopping block for that one. I know you didn't know that one. Yeah.
And eventually it became too much because I was doing all shifts, the 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 6, round the clock. Person who getting 10, go 3 a.m. again, the same mean. They want drivers, crane operators, this, that. I was like, I can't wait until this contract comes to an end. I'm not renewing. I'm not branching to food and bev. And then I went and opened the big restaurant, Nas Cafe. So now I'm in hospitality. I'm the man. I'm like, comedy. I'm doing this thing. And then it went down. After this, then I was like, hey, you know what? Much as I have aspirations of one day becoming a big corporate director, I have become, an accounts manager, senior accounts manager, key accounts manager, until I reached the ceiling, and then I opened my own company, which achieves all sorts of success in business. But when I was a comedian, I used to get called by Ulinda Spear to do basically, the thing that Kumba Shopper does on radio. He'd come in with Bob Maben on Friday doing that. I did the thing in 2006.
Yes, I still remember too.
Yeah.
I still remember.
So I used to do pranks. I used to do live comedy on the radio on Fridays. And I just fell in love with Linda Spear and how he moved so graciously and how he touched people. I was like, maybe that's what I do.
Yeah.
And then a guy called Miles Zigalala and Molos Melani invited me to Durban Youth Radio.
Yes.
I had my own show, The Morning Glory. Loved that show. My first show ever.
Morning Glory.
Funny story. And also you discovering this on TMM Live. My sister was one of the contributors there.
Oh,
sort of like an agony aunt, but who had a very skewed perspective of the world, dished out really bad advice to people that were struggling with the problem. So it was a satirical agony aunt feature. Sister Rosa. Sister Rosa is actually my sister, Nozipo Rosebud.
Serious?
Yeah, and people don't know that. So I had family on that show.
Come on, where's the love?
People would come on with like real problems, and my sister would like, I'm this, this. It was fun. And then on Fridays, it means then, because my show finished at 9, but my segment was at 7:30, I would then pre-record the remainder of the segment so I can rush to SABC and do a show with Linda Spear. So then it was exciting for me, just watching Linda Spear doing his thing and how many lives he was able to touch at the same time. And I fell in love with the platform. And I was like, okay, this allows for you to talk to so many people at any instance. In one instance, you're able to talk to so many people, and they congregate and gravitate towards this one particular forum, and you're in charge of this forum, and you can manipulate it. This is what I want. So then I became a part of the Cozy family, just as a contributor and also as a prankster. It never before been done in black radio, So I was the first one to do it, and did live comedy there. That then gave me so many bookings to places I'd never set foot in. People would call me and book me. just the power of radio.
Yeah.
And I would actually go. Sometimes, in fact, I started a whole new thing that never existed
Yeah.
before. You making so many firsts. Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah.
Wedding emceeing.
Yes.
There was no wedding MC before Felix. People used to have their uncles or members
Yeah,
of the family.
yeah.
So I was the first paid for
MC.
wedding MC.
Yeah.
And at the time, I charged like 750 rand,
Yeah.
and some to 1,000. Sometimes I would sleep in the bedroom and all get up bro, in places you'd never seen. And man, you say,
Yeah, yeah.
couldn't notice it.
Yeah,
Is
you
this
say.
South Africa skill? Because FM bang faka yonke ndong ayicabanga. And then it grew to today. I'm not gonna tell you how much my ask is, but I started charging 750 rand, and I had now people that have started after me that are feeding their families, building houses, doing so many big things, you know. But I'm proud to say I started it. you know.
Yeah.
And then after that, I went and joined the rivals of course, the Gagasi FM.
Yeah.
In the first installment, I was a contributor in Alex's show,
Yes.
also doing pranks. I did a show called the Summer Breakfast Show in his absence when he was on leave, and then came back. I became his contributor until I was then picked up by Vuma FM
Yeah.
as a breakfast show host alongside the legendary Leleti
Yeah.
and later Vanessa Marawa. And then later joined Ukagasi FM again, this time now as a show host. And I've worked my way from the weekend breakfast show to midday show to the breakfast show to now being at the helm of the flagship show of the #1 regional commercial station in South Africa. And I'm pretty proud of myself. Like I was teaching you earlier, that we need to look back and say, and look at how far we've come, and congratulate and pat ourselves in the back to say, yeah, you've done well.
Yeah.
You know, but don't lose sight of the goal and the prize and where you're going.
Where you're going, yeah.
So basically, radio found me. Radio is aligned with comedy, because much as yes, you're not on stage with the live audience, but you do have a live audience, but they can't see you.
Yes.
But because of my gift of the gap, I'm able to create in their minds and play in the theater of their minds. I know exactly what mood they're in, what they're doing at that particular point in time, and then I become the friend. When you're stuck in traffic, there's a voice coming in through your speakers. I'm your friend.
Yes.
And if you look to your left and to your right, you see people nodding or tapping their steering wheel. Just know that you are now family because you listen to the same guy. So if you pass that laughing
like, oh.
in the middle, like, oh, you listen to him too?
You heard that?
Like, I'll be so naughty that I would say, if you listen to Felix in the morning, honk one time. You go, ta! It's like honk 2 times.
That would be crazy. Imagine the whole of South Africa honking at the same time.
It happens. People say, oh, Felix, so crazy. We all honked at the same time because you asked us to honk. And it's just the power, just displaying the prowess to say, I have so many people listening, but they don't know that they're all listening to me at this particular point in time. And if I ask them to honk, then suddenly they realize that we're all part of one big family. There's that convergence that now I've just now created. So radio for me is my life, you know. I'm happy Kagasi FM has amplified me to where I am today, you know. My career didn't start with them and it won't end with them, but I intend staying for as long as I can. I still have a lot to, I remember Shrek, it was Shrek who said, ogres are like onions, we have layers. So I also have layers. So I'm looking to peel myself into the next layer on a different platform type thing. But I intend staying there. I intend being there, Glenn Lewis, and stay there for the longest time. Because I have a responsibility towards the youth, and that platform resonates with me and is in line and aligned to my brand. But certainly, you'll see me in other spaces in the future.
Because like with radio, obviously I think as obviously part of the youth and being part of the city, Kakasi FM is a very, very big platform for us, you know. I look at up and coming musicians, you know, if they get a chance to be on DJ Lab's show, you know, it's kind of an emphasis to them.
Yes, sir.
That
He's a good man, by the way.
Yes, sir.
DJ Lab.
He even came through and had to sit down with us.
Yeah.
Episode 2, season
Yeah,
3.
he's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
man. He's a good
very
man.
good man, you know. And I see the power that this platform has, you know, to uplift these guys that are trying to make something of themselves, you know. Getting an interview, and I'm speaking from a space because I made music myself at some point, you know, and I've got a lot of friends. Yeah, shout out. Got a lot of friends in that space, and they go into a lab show, you know. It's Kakas, you know, it's Kakas FM, and it makes them say, you know what, I'm heading in the right direction.
Yes,
you
sir.
know?
Yes, sir.
But with everything, not everything is perfect, you know. So with radio,
I see where you're going. That's fine.
Yeah.
I came here to lay myself bare.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of anything
Yeah.
controversial.
Yeah.
I'm always on the dance floor with Lady Bad. So I'm easy.
Let's
Don't
go,
even
yeah.
feel bad.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Yeah. So
What happened? Do you want to know what happened?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what happened. You know, there's ups, there's downs. And I really, because this really hit the listeners. You know,
Yeah.
and I still remember a person I won't mention who's also working at Kakasi FM. You know, he mentioned that a lot of the listeners were not happy with the fact that they had to miss the Felix feel for so long. You know, so could you just enlighten us what happened there? You know?
Okay, firstly, I just want to highlight that I'm not at liberty to divulge that type of information. But I can tell you that I was suspended because I did exactly that.
Yeah.
So I posted something on my Facebook. I was unhappy with a certain decision that they made. I was unhappy. I was like, you know what, stuff this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave, you know. And then sense prevailed. I was like, hey, you know what, I'll stay. My kids need for me to be here, you know. So until I work on my exit plan, I'll stay.
Yeah.
And then I made the mistake of actually writing that on Facebook.
Oh,
to
snap,
say,
yeah.
if it were up to me, I'd live today. I'd live this moment. I was so unhappy.
Yeah.
And that was found to be in contravention of our social media policy.
Yeah.
And then I got 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was a long
I
time.
was like, punishment should fit the crime. That post lived only for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, you know, it's okay. Power is power.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But we were able to, again, tell it Lord.
Yes.
And we're good. We understand our responsibility. It was really bad for the listener.
Yeah, definitely.
Lesson learned for everyone, myself and management alike. We're on the same page now.
Yeah.
We're on the same wavelength. But yeah, mistakes were made on both ends.
Yeah.
But we could. But that's what when you're a senior DJ, you leverage like
You
that.
leverage. You've got to.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay, it was a misstep on my part, big misstep on your part also. Tap thing and
Let's work to fix
it's
it.
also a lesson for everyone who's
Yeah.
watching outside in. Yeah. So basically there was that.
'Cause-
I can't divulge
That's it,
why
yeah.
I wrote it and why I
Yeah.
wasn't happy.
Yeah.
I just got suspended for writing it.
Just for writing it, yeah. So you know, with radio, there's obviously having the privilege of knowing people like Abonji Ngampanza and so on and so forth. These are people that I get to share space with now and then, you know, and I realized when I started getting a chance to sit with these guys, there's a lot we don't know, you know, and this takes me to the last question when it comes to this topic of radio. So I listened to your last interview with the guy Umekji, you know, right?
Yeah.
That interview for me personally, I cannot judge, you know, but I do have a question. I think, or do you think that was pre-planned, the fact that, you know what, I'll go in there and take the interview into the direction that it went?
Not at
you
all.
know?
Not at
Yeah.
all. Mac G is a good man. He's genuine. He's one of the most authentic guys you'll ever find there.
Yeah.
And I don't have a personal relationship with him. And I did mention it on the interview that I resonate a lot with him. I see a lot of me in him.
Yes.
The interview took a nasty detour.
Yeah.
If you are famous for controversy and you get invited into an interview, trust me, a question or two will come up about that controversy. So I'm here. I understand you.
Yeah.
I have consumed your content. I know what you're about, you know. And I know this will go viral, so let me choose my words carefully.
Yeah.
But in that particular platform, I represent people who are also very naive and ignorant to certain things about you.
Yes.
But I still represent them. So I'm their voice, and as such, I will then ask you questions from their perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that you can then have a chance to correct their perspective if it's in any way skewed.
And make them understand.
Correct.
Yes.
But now, because of the times we're living in now and this whole thing about cancel culture, you are very careful what conversations you are invited to. It was never my intention to talk about the things that he was asked.
Yes.
I was in the process of building rapport with him and then getting his take on things, you know, and then the interview took another direction. And then just as when I was trying to bring it back, he was already hit snapped.
Yes, yes.
So then it just became a back and forth to say, hey, guy, hey, listen, this is a safe place. You're in a safe place. This is us. We're just asking you these questions because we need to tick that box. Because someone out there who's not a chiller, who doesn't understand what you're about, is asking themselves these things.
These questions.
The only thing they know is newspaper headlines and all these viral things they know about you. So it is based on that premise that I would ask you these things. And if I don't, I will be doing a disservice to someone who doesn't know about you, but who knows these things of you, of this interview, that interview, and this thing that you've said. And if you're known for asking people uncomfortable questions, then you should be able to take uncomfortable questions.
Yes.
He's a controversial figure. He is sitting on something he doesn't realize that could catapult him into an even bigger figure.
Yeah.
I see a Steve Harvey in him. You know, he's bigger than what he is. These are his early years.
Yes, there's still more to come.
These are early years. With the digitalization of media here in South Africa, it's going to take a different turn. Radio, as you know, it will change. You know, from FM frequencies, all of that is going to go away now that we choose. So Meg G will be at the forefront of that. So he needs to order his steps carefully because he's ruffling feathers.
Yes.
He's stepping on people's toes and just by being himself. You know, he is on top of something so impactful that he doesn't realize. So I think he's also misunderstood. I think also he should avail himself more for this type of interactions.
Yes.
So that he can then actually unpack himself and people can see him for he truly is, not what they think he is.
He is,
He's always misquoted, he's also misconstrued, he's always taken out of context, and I gave him a platform to write that, but he doesn't know who is in his corner. Everything to him feels like an attack. In most cases,
he's going to defend himself.
It is an attack, you know. But that particular one was not an attack, but he didn't say it. But I understand him. I'm not saying it was right, but I understand why he did what he did, because to me also it felt like an attack. You know, this whole GBV hating women. Like I know, I'm talking about it girls.
Come on. That I heard. That's why
I'm not talking about how you don't hate women who are doing it for themselves. No, I'm not about that life.
And I feel like with that interview, you know, instead of kind of like you say, you've like at a point he had snapped, because I think even your co-host was very quiet for a long time on that interview, you know. But I think he had already snapped to the point where I think myself as a listener, I picked it up. You know, I picked it up. But I want to ask now, you know, this takes me to the next question. It takes me to the next question. So you are now working on your own podcast. You know,
100%.
You're working on your own podcast. You're going to be working on a reality show. But I just want to start on the podcast thing, you know. Babu Felix, see, like I said, as a young broadcaster, someone who loves what I'm doing, you're definitely the people that I listen to, I follow, you know, for all these tips and so on and so forth. So I want to know what a Felix Hlophe podcast would be like, because I'm going to be watching.
Yeah.
#1 subscriber right here, you know.
Now, let me tell you, your magazine, my man, is doing the most.
No, thank
I'll
you
tell you
so
now
much.
for free.
Yeah.
I don't want for my podcast to influence you in any way, because you're sitting on gold.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, I
you're
really
very
appreciate that.
easy to talk to. It's easy. Look, I'm getting goosebumps.
I appreciate that, man.
So you're very easy to talk to. You're well-mannered. You come across as a gentleman. And I can see how you were shying away from asking me controversial stuff. And that's because of respect. It's
Yes,
the
sir.
individual you
Yes,
are.
sir.
It's a very feel-good magazine and program. I like that. I hope I don't influence you very much.
Yeah.
Mine is, I'm a guy that shoots off the hip. You know,
Yes, yes.
I'm off the cuff guy.
Yeah,
But there's a science to the madness also. It's organized chaos. But I'm influenced a lot by David Letterman,
Yes,
who was
yes.
also a night show host, TV host. I'm influenced by Steve Harvey,
Yes.
Dr. Phil. I'm influenced by Vuyombuli. I'm influenced by all these people. I'm a conversationalist. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
a conversationalist.
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to be having a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
We're going to be having a lot of interviews also. We're going to be touching base with a lot of experts in many different fields and disciplines. We're going to be talking to a lot of people. Say, for instance, I tapped into something called the middle child syndrome.
Yeah.
And I discussed it as a subject, you know, and I discovered that, yes, there's so many people that actually suffer from middle child syndrome. What is middle child syndrome? Well, you invite a clinical psychologist, they unpack it. You invite someone who's a middle child and how they relate to the firstborn, to the parents, to the lastborn, and how they feel like they in an island, secluded, that type of thing. You know? And you're like, okay, all these topics that I talk about on the radio deserve to live on another platform because, you
Without the barriers as well.
correct,
Yes,
Tamundo.
without the barriers.
Yes, there's sort of things in the legal field alone, in the medical field alone, in accountancy and whatnot. So basically, I'm having conversations. I'm entertaining people while educating them at the same time, whilst having fun. You know? Like we're going to have a cooking segment. On
Yes, that's
We're
going to be
have,
amazing. That's definitely going to be amazing. I'm there.
Game and quiz.
I'm there.
Yeah, so it's going to be nice. It's basically going to be my radio show on a podcast with the optics and visuals. And so basically that's the Felix Hlophe podcast.
Yes, sir.
And then the Felix Hlophe show also living on, I'm hoping to sell it to China.
Yes.
So the second one, it's going to live on the tube, but also it's influenced a lot by David Letterman. So that one I'm going to do before a live audience in the theater where I'm setting up like this, and I'm just zooming into the life of a mover and a shaker, or an industry captain, or a musician, or any person of interest, where I would actually talk to a Bonks, DJ Bonks. I'll speak to his primary school teacher. I'll speak to his childhood sweetheart, to his neighbor, to his aunt, to his first guy that gave him a deal, to, just unpacking the personality like that, is laying them bare. And talking about certain things that took part, people that he's beefed with, and then I'll call them in.
Like, no, he's here. He's here.
So, basically, it's that type of show. I'm really hoping to sell it to China, but obviously, I'm a big advocate of starting where you are with what you have. So I'm going to start with YouTube first, just doing that. So it's going to be exciting. It's exciting times ahead. But yeah, they all carry a family theme. So yeah.
And I think
I'll still be a controversial figure, but I won't be.
But I think like we spoke earlier, I think that is definitely something that the Felix brand, and I'm gonna put my head on the chopping block and say it, you deserve to be on the screens for these people,
Thank you,
we all love what you do. I think it's now time where I can say, hey, catch up.
Yeah.
Need to go check the Felix Hlophe show, you know what I mean? Because people
Yeah.
want to laugh, and people like you are so important. You know, we've got political problems in this country. We've just had COVID, you know, so just people smiling again is definitely something that has been very, very evident, you know, like let's get rid of the masks. People are smiling again,
Yeah.
you know, but I think that those things need to be put on platforms where people can say, you know what, there was a show, Felix Hlophe show, you need to go watch Njoba, like myself as a youth. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that type of vibe, you know? So like, I definitely
Yeah.
do believe that a podcast from you, a reality show from you is definitely gonna go a long way, not just for the people that sit and watch TV, but for those people as well that, you know, sit on the internet and say, I'm just a guy that wants to watch clips, you know? Because
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of viral clips
I
on that show.
We're bringing back in living color, man.
Yeah, you know. So
Yeah.
I really do hope that these are things that are very close to
Yeah.
the near future, you know. But also, just before we go, like you've been doing so much like of these things where you put people in good spaces, you know. Now going forward,
Sometimes in bad spaces
It's
too.
too, yeah.
You like, I told my manager, Chango, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
He's an amazing guy, Chango. I did, or at that point in time, I had done 3 specials. I usually do 2 specials a year.
Yeah.
I did a special. Funny story.
yeah, I want to hear this.
I did a special. It was called The Bitter Baby Mama. Ne?
The Pizza Baby Mama.
Yeah, I had been cast on a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So alongside Pearl Tusi.
Yes.
What was it called again? The famous one that she did.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Where she's a private investigator.
Yes,
So,
yes.
So I went to Joburg and the show got sold out here in
Yeah.
Durban at the Barnyard in Suncoast. And now we're shooting this thing. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm not gonna make this flight. And this thing is sold
Yeah,
out and it's gone viral already. So I'm like, hey, guys, because we've been sitting for so long, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
And I leave, bro.
Yeah.
Eh? And they had to cut me. I watched it. Queen Sono.
Sono, yes,
Queen Sono, yeah.
yes, that's the
I
one.
watched it. I
Yeah.
watched it, and when it was out on Netflix, I'm like, okay, I was there. I was the guy that's supposed to say these lines.
Did they fill in with someone else?
No, they just took it out.
Oh,
they
they
gave my
just-
line to someone else
Oh,
who was
okay.
also there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we were
yeah.
in the panic reaction room when all these bombings took
Yeah,
place
yeah,
and that
yeah.
type of thing. So, so now I then land at King Shaka. Ne?
Yeah.
Okay, because in the movie I was wearing a suit, so
Yes.
I brought my own suit because I'm a big fella,
Yeah.
and I
I
always
brought my
make
own
sure that I bring
suit.
my own stuff because sometimes they don't find the right size and you look fat.
Yeah. It's even worse when they don't get the right size.
So
Yeah.
I'm wearing that same suit, and my manager is here. The show has started. I always start with the concert, so it's
Yeah.
Professor performing and all these guys performing there, and then I straight from the airport go there, and they don't have a backstage at
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so I'm now actually walking in the middle of the audience. They can see me in the suit. I'm going backstage. I change. I go on stage. I start the show. Then I didn't even get time to go through my sets.
Oh,
but
snap.
because I knew exactly where
Yeah.
the direction I was taking with the show. So I did the show for 2 hours, finished it. Now the following day, I'm traveling in the car with Chango, my manager. I
Yeah.
tell him, bro, it was such a great show. I had so much fun doing it. I love that venue, the Barnyard, because people were eating and drinking at the same time.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
as I was doing my comedy. I got a standing ovation. I'm happy. But you know how much shit I actually left out from that show?
Oh, snap.
Jeez, I left out about an hour of
Oh,
content
shit.
from that show. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. So let's do another one. No, I'm not doing
Another
another one. He says, Felix, I'm actually booking the Playhouse. We're doing another
Yeah.
one. That's now where Husband 101 was
yeah,
born.
yes,
That's how it was born.
yes.
It was from the Beta Baby Mama,
Mama.
stuff that I had left out.
Yes.
The following month, we do a show. Again, it gets sold out. We get so many people coming through to that show. And now I'm ruffling feathers again. I'm saying I'm putting people in a bad space because now everyone is pushing their show, their shows back.
they're back because now there's
Felix
this
is
now.
hogging the space.
Yeah.
No one is going to come to your show when Felix has a show. You know what I mean? So I'm doing these shows, and then I realized that in my doing it, I'm doing it for the audience, yeah, sure, and
Yeah.
for the people, but this is actually bad for the industry. I need to let the industry breathe. I need to give other people a chance, because real winners come second.
Yes, yes.
I need to give other people a space to breathe, you know. And then I did that. But because I'd set the bar so high,
Yeah.
people just didn't want to do one-man show.
Yes.
I waited so long that they started demanding another show, which is when then I came back with second semester has been one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how many hours you have in your day, but you do so much, man, you know. But Felix, you know, it's really been a pleasure getting the opportunity to once again, you know, speak to you. This conversation for me was definitely more than just a conversation, but it was also a lesson, you know. And I think from the TMM team and everyone, we just want to say thank you for coming through, you know. Thank you for obviously coming down to our spaces. We still grow, you know, we really appreciate it. And because there are so many people that...
You know, after this, you're going to see some real growth.
Yeah.
After this,
I can't wait.
I'm going to make so much noise about this.
Yeah.
Everything about this, every fiber of TMM is just good. And I can
really
almost see your
appreciate
halo,
it.
my guy.
Yeah, super
Please
appreciate
just keep
it.
it up. Keep it up. Keep the energy like this. You know what I mean? I will, in any way possible, assist you also to ensure that you get good guests and that you get the right noise.
We'd really appreciate
and that you get other spaces like this wonderful Benjamin that people extend the use of their place to you. I will
really
support you,
appreciate
my guy. I'm going to be rooting from behind.
Yes, sir.
TMM's got such a good fiber to it.
Yeah, we really appreciate
Love
that.
it,
We really
man. Love
appreciate
it.
that.
No, not because of your mom, my guy, but
that
also.
but she's got a little bit of a...
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. It's paying off. But guys, that was your boy Benson's Tracks, having the pleasure to chill with the one and only Felix Hlophe. Guys, I really just want to say to you guys, enjoy the music video. Felix Hlophe is going to be doing more things that you are going to see on the screen. So guys, please do stay tuned and don't forget, TMM is for you. I wanna.
Knuckles made this beat. I like it. Baby boy, I swear they just my exes. I don't know why they texting me right now. They just mad cause you're my next thing. Shine brighter than the lightning. I put you on a pedestal. They just my exes. I don't know why they calling me right now. They just mad cause you're my next thing. Shine brighter than the lightning. You're exciting. I try to show ya. I try to show ya. I try to show ya. Whoa, whoa. Where you tryna go? Why you gotta throw tantrums over things you don't even know? Why you gotta leave at a fast pace? Come here, let me sit on your face. Let you feel how good that tastes. Don't let these petty things phase you. You know I put you on a pedestal. Don't let these standard things phase you. Baby boy, I swear they just my exes. I don't know why they texting me right now. They just mad cause you're my next thing. Shine brighter than the lightning. I put you on a pedestal. They just my exes. I don't know why they calling me right now. They just mad cause you're my next thing. Shine brighter than the lightning. You're exciting. I try to show ya. I try to show ya. I try to show ya. Why you gotta ask me who's just my exes.